Hey guys, welcome back to Hot and Mild Reviews. Now, when we left you off last time, I recommended a book
You
that is
did.
actually being released today on the 13th to you, Carlos,
You did.
introducing you to the genre of romantasy with The Vow of Vengeance, which is a debut
Vow
novel
of
by Jaclyn Rodriguez.
Vengeance. There's
How
some vengeance.
how was it? Let's not give any spoilers. Let's not give any spoilers
I liked it.
just yet.
I,
Just yet. Tell me your
I
thoughts.
mean, for first read of a fantasy romantasy
Romantasy.
book, I liked it. I thought overall it was a pretty good book.
Mhm.
The character development was pretty decent. The female protagonist, I mean, she was angry a lot, but other than that, and then of course there's a shadow daddy in there that I think a lot of people would definitely
I mean,
appreciate.
he's got horns and wings. So our FMC, so our female main character, definitely goes through it. We've definitely got I would say enemy to lovers trope in here.
Mm,
We have fated mates, which is another
Faded
trope,
mates.
and then the I have a secret trope, which is a
I
big
have a
thing.
secret.
I would kind of say that our shadow daddy in here is definitely morally gray.
Yeah.
Morally gray.
Well, so how does
So
he? How does he? I'm curious.
so he's not good, but he's not evil.
How does he compare to other shadow daddies in Romantasy? Are there shadow daddies? Is that like a usual thing that happens in a lot of these books?
Kind of,
Okay.
yeah, kind
Okay.
of. It's like this book boyfriend
Ah,
that people are like, oh, if I had to pick this, it's like, um, imagine creating like a video game
okay.
where it's like you get to make your book boyfriend, and he's always got wings because he can fly and pick you up, take you everywhere, and then horns because there's always that fetish. He's always
Mm,
dark, brooding, morally gray, kind of angry. You want to hate him, but you want to love
also
him.
chiseled and yoked. Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Okay.
So that's what a lot of this
But
is
not
in here.
overly buff, but like athletic.
Right.
Ah, yes, 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 yes,
Right.
yes. I
So
see.
so it wasn't, and it had a interesting system to it. So without giving any spoilers, this is definitely based on the tarot cards system of how like there is some fighting scenes in here, some different things like that. It is a slow burn. So for those of you who are wanting like super spicy right off the bat, this is definitely a slower burn. I would probably say on the hot and mild, I would probably give it a two peppers
Two
out of
peppers.
five. Two peppers out of five,
Yeah,
or two
yeah.
flames out of five,
Flames.
because it is a slow burn. I did it. The world building's amazing. I was hooked from. I was like literally yearning over this. Hooked from the very beginning. The character development, the world development, everything. Like I have goosebumps. Everything about this is amazing. I haven't read something like this since like the dark window and from last year. And seriously, starting out 2026 with this book as a debut, sign me up. Like I
Hmm.
cannot. I want the other one. Like I want the next one so bad. I feel like a book slump. So for
Okay.
me, I liked it. Not I'm not familiar with tarot cards. You are.
Yeah.
So for me, using the major and minor arcana was
Like
I had to take a little bit on that, knowing like the 21 cards
I
of
thought that
that,
was a really cool, unique part of
the approach,
the world building of all of this,
right?
right? With the fact that there's three different factions,
Right.
and of course humanity is part of the thing.
Right.
Humans always get the short end of the stick at the beginning
The
because of course you
morals.
got to have humans and
The moral
immortals.
humans, the
Yes, the immortals,
plebeians.
they're incredible
Right,
in
and then
all
you
of
have
this.
the regular basic humans who are plebeians.
Yes.
But yeah, I liked how they developed that into as like the battle system,
Yeah, no,
like
that was
for
actually really,
powers,
really cool.
which is
Well,
pretty
for
cool
that faction
for that
specifically,
faction.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the fact that you've taken a couple of different fantasy ideas, right? You have
Hmm.
druids, you have seraphs, which are a little more
And then you have
the
the elves,
angelic
of
side, and of
course,
course the elves
right?
that are part of this, and then the humans as another faction, and they're kind of walled off because there was this catastrophic great war that happened, right?
Right, right.
So
And I liked actually kind of the morally. You talk about like the shadow daddy. Obviously, he's got horns and wings, and that's kind of what romantasy is kind of on that genre of things like that. Like when we get into Akotar and like other books, you'll definitely pick that up with like a court of roses and a court of roses and thorns. I'm getting used to the acronyms. So you'll see what all that is about. But the main character on here, Draven, like perfect. Just the right enough vulnerability. Just like it was well done. Well done.
It was super interesting the way they kind of set it up with Rune,
Right.
because
Who is our FMC? Her name is Brune.
yeah, she's the main protagonist in the book.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the intro that kind of had her. It got me really excited. The intro got me
Mm-hmm.
really excited, and then there was a time space
Right. Right.
of like things happened with her, and I wish one of the things that I really
Ooh.
wish in the book is that there was a lot more uh, her character development in that whole process
On a
of what
specific
happened.
side, but we don't want to give spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, cut it off now. You guys can pick this up. This is for the Allurable one. It just came out today on January 13th. So now we're going to actually give you the spoilers a little bit. So I loved it. As somebody who is ADHD, like I found it just perfect. It wasn't over um, sappy, emotional, like things that would just not appeal to me being able to register. However, you were like, I wish there was more development on her side, which was
Yeah. So the fact is, when in the intro, she was basically hiding with her mom, right? And because they ditched the selection, which is
mm,
basically now there are the three different factions that every year one of them comes and selects 100
it's almost like a Hunger Games
100
type thing.
humans,
Yeah, from different little regions.
to be taken by them as
Right.
part of the pact that
Which
they
you'll find
made
out
over
why.
time.
Which
Yeah.
you'll find out why when you read it.
Yeah,
Like
you
there's
find out
important story.
why that is. So the mom was in hiding, and Rune
Uh,
hid under the floorboards. Things happen. Mom got taken away, and then she runs out, and then we don't hear from her for a little while.
right, there's a time jump.
There's a time jump, and then what happens after that is now she is looking to become selected.
She's an adult.
She's an
She's
adult.
at the
She's
select
20.
right. And so she's like at the prime of the selection age of like what they pick
Yes.
from what they're doing,
Yeah.
depending on the classes that are coming in to do the selection. And then we kind of see where we kind of miss when she was like adolescent type. And this
Yeah.
so we lose about 5-6 years.
Yeah, we lose a fair amount of time because she was pretty young when that actually happened, and
They
then
fill you in though. As
yeah,
they-
and
they
then
go.
selection happens, and well, she wants to get selected because she wants
Mhm.
vengeance. Like it's very
Mhm.
clear that her brother was taken, her father was taken, and then her mother was taken.
You took my family. There's no reason. There's no
So this is where the
closure.
vengeance part comes in, right?
I'm coming after you. I have
Right.
nothing else to lose.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And then she comes and says that, as she starts talking, you find out that she was a wraith, which is basically at
Mhm.
service to the
Almost
leader,
kinda
the
like
king
the
of
spider.
Westfall.
Like the spider. Like
Yeah.
if for like
But
Game
she
of
was
Thrones.
more like she was that. She was an
Mhm.
assassin. She did things for this person.
Right, but you had to qualify for that. So she had to go through that
Yeah.
whole process of doing that.
Right.
So
So when
you'll find
I
out.
heard about that, I'm like, oh man, it would have been really interesting to kind of see a little bit of insight into kind of how she was formed and how she was shaped
Mhm.
by that adventure, that thing that happened, those things that happened to
But
her.
maybe they'll go back in the second one and like
Maybe.
it'll fuel into like some of that will slowly
Yeah.
leak into.
But I wanted more development of her there, just to kind of understand.
How did you become the Wraith?
Yeah,
And,
like how did you become the wraith, and
Mhm. What did you have to
as a
sacrifice?
wraith, yeah, as a wraith, like what was your, you have a certain level of emotional intelligence that comes with being able to mask yourself, to be able to
Detach.
infiltrate and blackmail
Detach.
people, detach from everything. So it was very interesting that she had that, but then the first thing that you get from her is this anger, this vengeance, and this like
Oh yeah, it's seething. I mean, it's
she's
vow and
seething.
a vow and vengeance.
Right.
It's literally lives that hype up. Like she is just there for more than blood. Like she's just there to wipe out everyone and everything.
Yeah.
She's nuclear, if you want to say. Like
Yeah,
at this
I
point, she's
guess.
literally like nuclear.
Yeah.
She's like, you know what? I am just one spicy pineapple. I'm literally gonna go into the middle of this bunker and pull the pin and
Yep.
spicy pineapple.
Well, I mean,
go.
she has a bounty on her
that's
head because she
right, and it's the biggest bounty that's ever
killed the
been.
king of
and
Westfall, or-
no,
she didn't kill him. She
attempted.
hurt him.
Oh, pretty bad.
Pretty
But
bad thing.
you'll find this out. Like who she was the wraith to, right? Her master. But yeah, she's definitely an unhinged spicy pineapple
Yeah.
in the middle of this bunker.
Yeah, because
just
I wanted to identify with her because it was leaving her in the place where she ran and she's out in the snow, and then all of this stuff happens. I'm like, but what? How did it shape her? Why is she the way she is? And how does she have what are her abilities? Like, what did she develop over that period of time? So then selection happens, and she
Right.
wants to get selected. So that's when she first meets Shadow Daddy,
Right.
and there's, you could tell in the writing that there's there's an initial, like,
Well, I mean, they make that.
they make that
You
very,
you
like,
have to.
yeah, ooh, Shadow Daddy. There's something
Hmm.
mysterious about him.
And but it
The wicked
initially,
smile.
obviously, in the true enemies to leverage trope, that definitely like she's just got her eyes set like you're the one that's going to take the fall.
No, I'm blaming
For
you.
everyone, I'm blaming you. It's all
Y'all
your
y'all people
fault.
took my mom, so now I'm gonna
You
blame you
you
for
act
everything.
act like the the confident, cocky one. You're going down the first. Like that's you got to have a mark somewhere.
Yeah.
But I think like if you take that aspect out, like maybe that'll be part of the reason, part of where we get drops of that into book 2. So you take that portion out. Overall, if you were to like say 5 stars, right, on top of it, which is what Goodreads do, where would you place this?
I
And
mean,
this is your first romantasy, but I'm
yeah. I mean,
saying as
I
the
liked.
writing.
For me, the writing was good. It was very descriptive. It was,
It,
I got an idea of what the world was like. I got an idea of, just kind of when they were selected and then they went to, change. They were changelings. They
mhm,
became changelings. What that felt like. So I
very
couldn't put
descriptive.
the book down. Right.
Mhm.
It was something where I just had to keep reading. I'm like, okay, cool. Even though I knew that there were some tropes that were coming, that I'm like, okay, this is where it's going to be this. And of
Mhm.
course she's going to have the super ultra magic power that only, one in a millennium happen. And of course the prince is also going to have that magic ability. So the pair up happens pretty immediately. But because of the writing and how descriptive it was, I kept going with it because I'm like, ooh, this is kind of cool. I want to see how this plays out.
Right.
And then the plot twists happen, and I'm like, okay, now I can start seeing,
Little bit things like start taking
little bit
shape
of
and
things
stuff. Yeah.
start taking shape. Shadow Daddy isn't the evil Shadow Daddy that she thought he was. Things
Mhm.
like that. Of course, morally gray,
Right.
huge Shadow Daddy, and how things kind of develop in the story later on are actually pretty cool.
Right. There's
Yeah,
some of those that as you get towards the ending, you start getting all the answers to things that you had since the first page.
yeah.
You literally, it's like things where even I'm normally very good about picking up patterns and identifying things. One of the things I was able to identify, one of them I was not. I was not prepared for towards the ending.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah,
I
no,
did
those those
not
were
see
those were
that
actually
one
pretty
coming. I
good.
did not see any of that coming. And yeah, it was just like, how dare you leave me on this cliff? How dare you not finish this? How long do I have to wait for the second one?
And I would have liked to have seen some additional character development on some of these other
I mean,
characters,
there's
right?
always that opportunity. So if you look at, other authors that we'll dive into, like Sarah J. Maas for another one, she usually she'll take that, and if there's so much with a character, she will actually turn it into like another book
Awesome.
about that.
Yeah,
So
because
there's always that possibility
there's
in that
always a
room.
supporting
But
cast,
again, it always depends on the author, depends on the publisher,
right?
it depends on the agent, kind of how they want to fall. If there's enough,
Right.
they feel like it's worth actually doing all the marketing and publishing and things like that.
Yeah,
So
there's always a supporting cast,
there's
and
always
so
that. Yep.
it's the ones that, like, the main protagonists interacts with the most. You start developing, you're like, oh, they have a cool ability. Okay, are they just here for fluff, or is there going to
Hmm.
be something more to these characters that you want to see,
Right.
right, as they move through the story and the plot line?
So out of 5 stars, where would you put it?
Am I 5 starring it, or am I spicing it, or what am I
Well,
doing?
we're doing this for the writing. We'll do the stars, and then you can do like your peppers or flames for.
Yeah, I'd say writing in terms of easy reading, because it was an easy read.
Hmm.
In terms of the, it had moments of complexity. The plot was pretty good. I would probably say about 4 stars.
Okay.
Yeah, that
And then
seems about right.
on a spice, since this is your first intro into
Yeah, I mean,
romantasy, would you say it was like obviously it's a slow burn? It's not first chapter dive right
it's
into super descriptive, like super descriptive.
well, honestly, I didn't know what to expect on the
Right.
spice level. I had no idea. I don't know how these
Oh
what
boy.
they put in these books, or
Oh
like,
boy. Oh,
you know
that'll be
how
probably the next
how
one to show you that.
how spicy they can get,
Oh,
right? But I would say spice level probably 2.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I would put
Two
it.
flames.
Two flames. So for me, I'm going to say 5 stars. The writing, the description of everything, minus that part, because I've read so many different of these fantasies and
Mm.
things that I know a lot of times they will fill in those gaps that you're talking about into like book 2, book 3. It depends on how far they go out with this. This is a series, so this is obviously going to be more than 2. Obviously, it's not a duology. So they always piece back those because it plays into something else. So it could very easily be one of those. So I'm not going to hold that to it. But as far as a tarot card battling system, that's something that's a new trope for me. And as somebody who's not very familiar with tarot, just a little bit of reading about outside of this and refreshing to kind of know what the major and minor
Right.
arcanas are. This was fantastic. Like I can easily see this being adapted into like a Netflix or a type of show. Like it
Yeah.
literally, if they can do something along like the Hunger Games, then this one is right up there.
Right.
So I'm so excited for like book 2. I hope I don't have to wait like a year and a half. So I would say 5 stars for me on the writing, as far as the depth of the description of the world building, as far as the relationships and the rapport with the main characters and the side characters and everything around it. It was fantastic. I don't need spice right off for the first chapter. I do love the slow burn if it's done, if it's written beautifully, and it was. The banter in this book between back and forth and all the characters, like 11 out of 10. Like the banter,
you like the
the
banter?
banter was fantastic. It was just right what it needs to be, the right amounts at the right time. It was fluid. It was just
It was
fluid
for me. It got a little bit old after a little while, right? Because they just
Well,
kept
it
doing the
seems like
same
linger,
thing.
but there's
And there
different
was like
things going in the
there was
background.
anger and banter, and anger and banter, and anger and
Right,
banter, and then,
right.
like at some point,
But it's the
at some point,
right?
you just gotta
It's called
like
the slow burn.
you gotta be like,
It's called the slow
okay,
burn. It's called the slow burn.
I know where this is going.
it's a
Like
slow
just
burn.
let it happen.
Slow burn.
just let it happen already.
That's a slow burn. So now we know where you're like so yeah. So this is a beautiful.
Like the tone didn't change from the very
Nope.
beginning all the way through
Nope.
almost until finally stuff happens,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna rule forever, right? Together."
Exactly.
Wonder Twin powers activate, right? Like
That's a slow burn for you.
that's so slow.
That's how you know you're like, come on, like I need another one. So that's what we call yearning.
Mhm.
And so you're like, come on, give me, like, that's a slow burn, or as book tease.
Yeah.
So, but you're just like, on to the next one.
Well, that's why
you know
when
what
when I talk to you about
Mhm.
the emotional intelligence of Rune, I'm like, at some point, right? You're developing your skill, you're moving forward, but you still want to hate this guy, but you love this guy, but you want to hate this guy.
Mhm.
All that shit went out the window, right? Because it just like he drives her crazy. Is
Mhm.
that like a trope that
It is.
okay?
So
Okay.
that's a
Something
classic
that happens.
enemy to lovers.
Okay.
So there's always going to be that transition where you see that. And this one literally wasn't overnight. So this was actually, you see it slowly rotating it like the slowest chicken rotisserie like ever, right? But it is there and it is done beautifully. Because you just see it a little bit. No, take it away. Just a little bit. No, take it away. Perfect. Literally perfect.
Mhm.
Wonderful. Definitely wonderful.
That's interesting.
It's like crack. But yeah, no, that's what you do like when it's a proper slow burn.
Right.
So you just get a little bit more. This is what happens when I'll read one more chapter and then one more chapter and then 6:30 in the morning.
Mhm.
And you still can't put the book in. It's
Yeah.
one of those.
Yeah, and then I wanted to know more about the different factions, like the other ones, the Seraphs.
Well, I think we're going to be.
Because the Seraphs are pretty badass. I mean, the Druids have the tarot as their magic source,
Mhm.
right?
The Seraphs have the halo,
The Seraphs have their halo,
which tell them if people are lying
right?
or
But
if
they
they
also
have
come
ill
with
thoughts.
they also come with power, right?
Yes. And then
Lightning.
the elves can read people's mind or
Yeah.
pick up on the energy, the auras. So we're going to find out.
Yeah, I
more
want to know
about
more
that.
about like those races as well, like what happens with them,
that's
who
why
they are,
That's why it says
why they are the way they are.
the Immortal Desire series. So I think we're going to go through all the fractions, and I think our dynamic duo here now is going to show you. I mean, the very back of it says, "You want power, prove it. You want magic, take it." So
Proof it and take it. Let's go.
I say for a debut novel,
Oh,
chef's kiss.
Yeah, I mean, normally on a book, I would not lose sleep over reading it,
Mhm.
and I
I
kept
lost some
reading it.
sleep.
I
I
kept
lost some
reading
sleep.
it, and I did lose some sleep over it. So that's
Right.
also very telling of
Right.
something that is immersive enough to be able to keep your attention and wanting to see what else kind of
Exactly.
happens.
Well, I find it like with somebody like me who has ADHD is I need something to keep my interest, but also because I have autism, which is the ADHD, I find myself like pinpointing, like picking things apart. Like that's not real. That wouldn't happen. This is wrong. I didn't get that here. I did not get that in this book. That's what I said when it was fluid. If it satisfies that for me,
Hmm.
beautiful. So if you guys haven't picked it up, we're gonna say probably I say 5, you say 4 stars. We're gonna say 4.5 stars total on this one, and we're gonna say 2 on the spicy scale.
Yeah, worth picking up for sure.
It's definitely worth picking up for
Yeah,
a debut
do it.
novel.
Yeah,
This is
for the first
fantastic.
one of 26, let's go. I mean, do it.
This is my favorite so far.
Yeah,
So my favorite probably I've read in the last 11 months.
well done,
So
Jaclyn Rodriguez. Well done.
congratulations.
Yeah,
This is
congratulations on
a
your debut
heck of
novel.
a debut novel. So
Really well.
471 pages in case you guys were interested.
Yeah.
So a juicy read.
They went through quick. They went by quick.
All right, on to the next one. So
What are we going to look at next?
I don't know. I'm wondering if I should give you something of an example of what spice right off the bat is, or if we dive into the world of dragons.
Oh, well, I mean, that's okay. Do you have anything that could be like dragons and spicy,
Oh yeah,
like that?
yeah.
Okay, okay.
We can do Wings of Blood by Briar Bullen because book 3
Wings
is getting
of
ready to come
Blood.
out in March.
Okay,
It's a 3 book. So
okay. Let's try that.
all right,
I'm in. Wings of Blood, y'all.
let's do it. You want some dragon riders and some shadow daddies? I got
The
you.
Dragon Riders plus Shadow Daddies.
In an elven world. Here we
Oh,
go.
elves too.
Ooh,
Oh, lordy,
my.
lordy, lordy,
And
lordy.
vampires.
Oh, gee.
Because you can't have one without the other.
Shadow Daddies, dragons, vampires,
Elves.
elves.
And we'll throw in some dark academia with that. So
Jesus. Okay, I'm down.
down for it. All right. Stay
Thanks for
tuned.
listening, y'all. Appreciate it.